Good morning. Welcome to episode 10, where first we are going to put yesterday's story into the book. And I am going to read that to you right now once I open it up. So, the Spanish missions is what we talked about yesterday. The Spanish missions of California comprise a series of 21 religious outposts or missions built between 1769 and 1833 in what is now California, founded by Catholic priests to convert the Native Americans to Catholicism. The missions led to the creation of the New Spain of Alta California and were part of the expansion of the Spanish in the most northern and western parts of North America. The oldest cities of California formed around or near Spanish missions, including the four largest: Los Angeles, San Diego, San Jose, and San Francisco. And the missions, this is not in there, but the missions were separated by as far as you could theoretically walk in a day or two. It is the oldest constructed structure in San Francisco. Mission Dolores is the one we're talking about, the one in San Francisco. It was built in 1776. That's when our country got its independence, 1776. So that's crazy to think that there were this, but it was all Spanish and Mexican on this in California, and Russians. 1776, and then dedicated in 1791. The El Camino Real, which is the route connecting them all, was one of the first state highways in California. Given the lack of standardized road signs at the time, it was decided to place distinctive bells along the route, hung on supports in the form of a post which looked like a shepherd's staff or a Franciscan walking stick, because they were Franciscan priests. The design of all the missions is very Spanish, adobe, and tile, and they are protected now. Some are still owned by the Catholic Church, and some are state parks. The mission of the missions, wrong as it was, they are beautiful, was to convert the Indians to Catholicism, the native people. They are beautiful buildings and represent parts of our state history. Wrong or right? I am desperately trying to work on today's prompt, which is Fisherman's Wharf. And I'm looking for oranges, and I can't find anything. I'm going through Dina Wakley. I'm going through Jane Davenport. I'm going through Amy Tangerine. Kind of coming across a little bit, but not really until I came across this. I'm like, okay, that'll work. So the story, the Bugs version of the missions is: history again, grumbled Spencer. Yes, get up. The lady will be leaving soon, and we need to ride with her, said Sage. Mission Dolores was very cool inside since the weather was already cold and foggy outside. This made for a very chilly day. A lot of days in San Francisco are chilly. Touch this wall. This has been here since the American Revolution, 1776. Just think if these walls could talk, excitedly said Sage. People lived here. They had markets here, protection here, and resting places, said Sage, again reading the signs. They would walk from one mission to the next in the quest to convert the Native Americans. This could be Spain right now if history had gone another way, Sage continued to read. So that was their version of Mission Dolores. Now we are in Fisherman's Wharf, which is very close to Pier 39, where the seals were. And this is me adding oranges and blues and pinks to lots of things. Now, I'd already printed this on a very vintage looking piece of paper. So with dull tones, beiges and blacks. So I'm trying to convert that over to all this bright stuff. Don't know if I succeeded, but I'm okay with it. Sort of. So Fisherman's Wharf. Boundaries are roughly Van Ness Avenue to Pier 35. The Powell Hyde cable car runs to Aquatic Park at the edge of Fisherman's Wharf, and the Powell Mason cable car runs a few blocks away. The gold rush in 1848 brought people to this area headed to the gold fields, as well as Italian immigrants, which were fishermen, came to the city to take advantage of the influx of population. Most of the Italian immigrant fishermen settled in the North Beach area close to the wharf and fished for the local fish varieties and Dungeness crab. The wharf still remains the center of operations for San Francisco's fishing fleet. Yes, there are several restaurants here that have been in the same families for 3 and 4 generations. So that's a little bit of history of Fisherman's Wharf. It is actually just where the fishermen came in after they had been out fishing, and they docked their boats here. This is Sage and Spencer's version. The day the lady went to see Pier 39 and the bugs saw the seals, they also went to nearby Fisherman's Wharf. Gag me. What is that smell? Said Spencer very dramatically. It's crab, yelled Sage, just as a man dressed in a white shirt with a very dirty apron yelled. Get your walk-away crab cocktail fresh caught today. Men cooking in huge pots on the sidewalks are selling crab cocktails or shrimp cocktails. The bugs got one of each. This is the yummiest crab I've ever had, said Sage. This shrimp is also so good. It should be, kids. Your food was caught this morning and cooked just now, just like my great-grandfather used to do every day, said one of the men in a dirty apron. The crab and the shrimp were served in little paper dishes with a tiny paper cup of cocktail sauce. As you walk down the street, a couple of blocks, people ate crab. It's just a couple blocks long. As you walk down the street, a couple blocks, people ate crab or were waiting to eat in one of the family-owned restaurants that have been here since the mid-1800s. Now that was fun, said Spencer. So yes, that's exactly the experience you get at Fisherman's Wharf. Men, craggly old men, and dirty, dirty aprons because they've got crab and shrimp and seawater and fish guts all over them, are selling crab cocktails. They call them walk-away cocktails because you get it in a little piece of paper and you walk away to the next one. And we used to take friends that would come into town or relatives that would come into town here and could not wait to go to Fisherman's Wharf when I was a kid because you got crab. Our family all loves crab. The other night, last week on our anniversary, early Valentine's Day, we ate crab here. It was Alaska crab, not Dungeness crab. And living in South Carolina, we have blue crabs here, which is a totally different flavor. That blows my mind. How the same animal, different species, can taste so different. So I am desperately trying to merge blues and pinks, which is the back of this Jane Davenport paper, the background. And I have a crab stamp. It's at the beach. Oh well. I used Amy Tangerine letters, which gave me fits. And trying to kind of put these pieces together in a layering effect, but look like it was organic and look like it was meant to be and look like it was super easy, even though it was not. It was very frustrating. I fiddled and fiddled and fiddled and tapped my hands and did all kinds of things. And perhaps I have it like I want it now. It took a lot of finagling, and I even turned the camera off and then went back in, as you will see, and played some more. I'm okay with it. I wanted something bright. I haven't done bright, and this is a thicker cardstock paper, so I'm going to use my double-sided tape. Haven't done bright in a very long time. Loved the bright, but I don't know if it all goes together, and it surely doesn't go with the page next door. So I am finagling some attachments, perhaps, trying to get things to work together. I halfway succeeded. I'm not completely hating it now. And I know how I feel about these things at the end of the day when it's all together in a book and you flip through it, it'll be fine. But as you take it individually, it looks terrible. It doesn't look terrible, it just doesn't blend with the other pages. And this is what happens when you mix bright and vintage colors together. Adding some circles of pinks. And then I found some Diane Reevely's washi tape, one of them, which is bright. And then I found another volume of Dina Wakley's paper, which I absolutely love, and I love that piece right there. And I'm trying to figure out how I can add something to this. So I took a tiny bit of scrap and wrote crab very sloppily in different directions. And I add this to the bottom, and it kind of brings in the black from the other side to this side. I'm not exactly sold on it, but it enables me to live with it now. And I'm fiddling and fiddling and fiddling, and I finally get it off. But, and I add some blue then too, and bring that blue across. And I don't hate it. Not my favorite one, but I do love crab. And I am a tad crabby over this one, but that's okay. So thanks for watching. See you all tomorrow. Bye.